Hey y'all, good afternoon. I'm glad everybody is here and ready for a crown chat. It looks like it ain't that many folks here, but either way it go, whether we got a handful or a house full, we gonna talk and get this stuff out. Today, what we talking about is the law of reaping, or what people like to call karma. So we're gonna have a good time with that today. Let me see who is in the building. Let's see what family is here to sit down and talk with us right now. We got Egypt Nile, of course, our good sis Tina. You here? Jam, what's going on? You know I love your name, Jam. Jam. We got DC. Hey, boo. Auntie Eva is in here. Yes. All right. Queen of C. Okay. AVL. All right. Mama's baby is in here. Y'all tell my baby, hey. All right. So the family is coming on in. Wani, hey, boo. Ray Ray all day. All right. Man, y'all come on in. Y'all know my voice is still on struggle mode, but it's getting better, I promise. Hey, Miss Sharon, Wonder Woman Marshall, how you doing? Minerva Sagisi, how you doing, girl? Sunshine, sunshine. Ow. Y'all is up in here. Listen, those of you who came through this morning for our Good Morning Royals live, I enjoyed y'all so much. For those of y'all who don't know, I've been trying to get up around 5:45, 6 o'clock, and put in 1 hour every morning with my morning crew who wants to get up, do their exercises. Hey, Alondra, their stretches, all that good stuff, everything that we like to do in the morning to get ourselves together. And also to kind of try to encourage us to maybe do a little bit better about getting our bodies moving. Let's be healthy. We got too much stuff out here working against us. And I know I'd be messing up too. So I need the encouragement. And so I figured if we can all encourage each other, that's cool. So those of you who came this morning, I enjoyed you guys so much. And I always, always do. Also, wanted to point out last night we had fun talking about them people on that TV show. That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. Minerva, welcome to the Royal family. Listen, y'all make sure y'all give Minerva a Royal family welcome. And that means everybody. Hey, Corrine. Miss Rochelle, how you doing? You listening at work? Okay. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all let Minerva know she is welcome here with the royal family, and we're sending her lots of love. Denise Pooh, hey, how you doing? Deborah Summerall, you made it in. All right. I'm glad. It's always good to see you. It's always good to see everybody. Happy to be happy you done made it in the building. All right. Good to see you. Alita, how you doing? Ray Ray, Rara, Rossjoy Online, how are you? Yes, everybody is giving their welcomes. That's what I like to see. So y'all come on in and get comfortable. You know where you at. You're at your sister's house. Take your shoes off, get comfortable. You don't need permission around here. Hey, 504 girl, S. Collins, Linda Fauntleroy, how you doing? Maureen Mercer, Joy L. You subscribe? All right. Listen, as y'all come in, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Know what you waiting on. Y'all gonna mess around and miss something. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. You in a grocery outlet. Oh man, girl, you getting some shopping in. All right, Rod Storm. Hey, how are you? I'm so glad to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to just let everybody come on in and get comfortable so we can talk about what we're talking about today. All right. Yes. Welcome to the Royal family. Zoe, you made it in here, girl. How you doing? Yes. Look, we got to talk about what we're talking about. Y'all seen the title. Don't get popped, right? But we ain't talking about popping people with our hands. I think we all grown and we grown past the point of using our hands to be popping on folks. Hey, how you doing? Praying and relying on God to help us all. I like your name. All right. We got who this Prudence Windsor. Hey, I know that's right. You always coming in from the UK. I appreciate it. We got family down to Trinidad. We got DT always representing from New Zealand. And we got our ladies from Uganda. We got ladies everywhere, all over the place. And everybody is welcome. New Year's Bay say hello, Shanitra and Royal family. This channel keeps me in good spirits, all the love and good vibes. Well, I'm happy to hear it. That's my silver diamond. Hey, gorgeous. Hey, that's my beautiful niece and birthday twin, 131, U.S. Army brat. All right. Yes, y'all use them emojis down there. Today, the emoji we leaning on today is that mirror. So I want to see plenty of mirrors in the chat. I want y'all to flood the chat, spam the chat with mirrors, because we're going to talk about it today. Hey, MR Spiller. Hey, Miss Laura. Sharon Haywood, how you doing? HU Angel One. You know I miss you when you're not here. I'm so used to seeing you. When I don't see you, I feel a little funny. Like, where's HU Angel One? Alita said, I'm putting my groceries away. Not my favorite thing to do. Thanks for keeping me company, family. Girl, it ain't my favorite thing either. I don't know what I'm going to do when there's no children around to put up groceries. I probably just won't eat. That might be my answer to being too big. If I ain't got nobody to put up food, I won't be mad. Yes, I see the mirrors in the chat. Those of you who are family members, go into your members only emojis. I want to see some mirrors in the chat because we about to talk about some real stuff, okay? That has to do with that mirror. We talking about what you got control over. So I want to see the mirrors. That's right, Corrine. My baby got her mirrors in the chat. MR Spiller, I see your mirrors. All right. DC, we got mirrors, sunshine mirrors. Okay. Y'all spam the chat with the mirrors. Because we about to talk about some stuff that got to do with what's in the mirror. Okay, it's storming over there. Okay, baby. If you drop out, then we know what it is. All right. Mirrors, mirrors, mirrors. Run it. Let me see the mirrors. Hey, Miss Sharon White, you made it in. I'm so happy to see you. Look here. Mirrors. I want to see mirrors in this chat because today we're going to talk about some more stuff that we got control over. Always remember, we cannot control other people. Unfortunately, we can't even control what they do to us. We can control how we respond to it. All right, now that I got your full attention. Mommy, yes, how you doing? I'm so glad you didn't miss it today. Now that we got these mirrors in the chat, I got y'all full, complete, and undivided attention. We're going to talk about the topic of this video, which is don't get popped. Now, this time when we talk about getting popped, Christian Key, you made it in. I'm glad. I'm glad you made it here. I might need to start taking attendance on y'all. Make sure everybody's in here. But the title of this live is Don't Get Popped. And I'm not talking about nobody reaching out and popping you. By all means, if they hit you, hit them jokers back. I'm not the person that's going to tell you, or if they hit you, run and hide and call the police. If they hit you, by all means, if your hands is up to date and you know they certified, go ahead and do what you need to do. Okay? I'm not talking about that. DGF 627, how you doing, baby? Glad to see you. What I'm talking about is y'all call it karma. Smart Cookie, you made it. All right, y'all sliding on in the door. What I'm talking about is the law of reaping, or what some people in modern times like to refer to as karma. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Natasha, how you doing? That's what I'm talking about when I say don't get popped. Y'all keep putting the mirrors in the chat because I want to make sure y'all hear me. I want to make sure you hear me. Let me see your royal family emojis. Y'all know how hard it is for me to do anything with technology, so I made sure y'all got them. Let's use them. I want to see those mirrors in the chat. Spam the chat with mirrors. Because a lot of times when we start talking about, no, we ain't talking about harvest this time. We're going to do harvest another time. We're doing karma. I want to see the mirror, your royal family mirrors, the mirrors that are in your royal family emojis. I want to see them in the chat because I need to make sure y'all hear me. Hey, Quiet Storm 87. What I'm talking about is a lot of times we get so focused on what someone has done to us that we negate or forget or possibly do not understand that you have more control over what you do about it than what you do about what that person does to you. We try to prevent so many things. We will keep quiet to try to keep down confusion. We will only leave our house at certain times of day to try to avoid certain people that's in our neighborhood. We won't go places, if somebody's dead and we know don't like us, all kind of things we do to try to prevent what they're going to do. But the thing that you got control over is what you gonna do about it. And when I say don't get popped, I'm talking about that good old law of reaping, okay? Reaping what you sow, reaping the seeds that you planted, okay? So the way that this thing works, I want to talk about just the fundamentals in lay terms if I can. Now, this is just the way I feel about it. If I'm wrong, feel free to let me know, okay? But when you start talking about things that are spiritual laws, we're talking about metaphysics, y'all. We're talking about a something that is scientific and quantifiable. Okay, meaning you can measure it. It's real. If you may not have a handle of it, but it is a real element to our lives and who we are. Okay, as a person, you have duality. You have a spiritual side, you have a physical side. Okay, and your spirit, your well, let's talk about the physical first. Your physical walks around in the physical world. It can touch, move, affect, and change things in the physical world. You can pick up a glass off the table, you can put it back down, you can slam a door, you can slap a hole. You can do a whole lot with your physical body. Okay. Now, when it comes to your spiritual body and your spiritual element to who you are, your spiritual makeup moves in, the realm that is more metaphysical, meaning that it can at times affect the physical, but it is not completely physical, nor is it based on the physical. Okay? Some of y'all get where I'm coming from, and I want y'all to really feel me on this, right? Because this is something that keeps coming up. And I feel like, enough people don't understand the law as it concerns these things. So when you start talking about your spirit, you'll hear people say your spirit man, or they'll start to talk about, I felt something in my spirit. Most times these jokers just talking. They ain't felt nothing. They just talking. But when you start talking about your spirit and the things that you see in your dreams, which is your spirit man interacting in the metaphysical, now when we start talking about the law of reaping, that's something that is not physical, y'all. That is something that is absolutely metaphysical. That's something that's based on the spiritual. Okay? So if someone does something to you, that metaphysical realm is almost like water. Y'all might hear me say stuff, about the water being off in that water. When people start to do things and create actions, anything you do, good or bad, it creates ripples in the water or in that realm. So when you start to show love and send love out, you'll find that love starts to come back and wrap itself around you. And you'll start attracting people that want love. You'll attract people that need love. You're going to attract people that want to love you. You'll attract people that want you to show them how to love somebody else, because that's the ripple that you're putting out. You know what I mean? So when you drop a pebble in the pond, those ripples are far reaching. They expand larger than the base circumference of the pebble, and they go out farther than the pebble has ever reached, because it creates a ripple in the water. So when we put things out and we take any significant action, what we're doing is we're making ripples in a pond, if I can use that imagery. So we're putting things out. And much like, yes, girl, I said slamming doors and slapping hoes. Yes, that's the stuff you can do with your physical hands. But spiritually, when you begin to do things and understand that some of your physical actions can have spiritual influence or make a spiritual impact. Simply put, if you go and you have a habit, or you make a habit of giving poor people food, and you're giving food and you're giving food, eventually the thing that you put out, those ripples that you place into the metaphysical realm, will start to reverberate, because y'all know there's balance in this universe. And I ain't telling y'all nothing you don't know. Hey, Lisa Howard, come on in and get comfortable, girl. So when you begin to put those things out, they reverberate and come back. I was talking to a very good friend, and what I was explaining to her concerning these types of things is that it is much like a tsunami. And what happens with a tsunami is, if you see it on the news or y'all watch Discovery, I know I be watching Discovery because they be telling you stuff sometimes. And you seen like years ago, they had a tsunami over in Thailand, I believe, in Phuket. And what we saw was they were saying that all the water left the beach, y'all. It looked crazy, like all the water was just gone. And so, hey, Jaded, I'm glad you made it, my dear. You working and editing and listening. Okay. Who else then came up in here? I want to make sure I don't miss nobody. Trink and Sharon, Allison, how you doing? All right. So the water will leave the beach. It'll flush and wash all the way out. And then when it comes back, there's a huge wave. That is how things work when you do really heavy things. There's some things we can do that make a larger impact than others. Okay? So it's not the same passing out a sandwich to a homeless man as somebody that goes and makes a huge sacrifice, which is just to, to put it in perspective for you, a sacrifice is literally, hey, high vibe, is literally something that is an uncomfortable release, something that you had to go out of your way to do, something that was uncomfortable to do. Like some people got a whole lot of money, so they give out a little bit of money to everybody. That ain't no sacrifice. That's something real simple to do. Hey, BJ Dez, Vim Malaje. I think this is my first time seeing you over here. I'm so happy to see you. You're welcome. Dana Cutler, how you doing? So when we start talking about an uncomfortable release or an uncomfortable or something that you had to go out of your way to release or to give, that is what equals sacrifice. Even in ancient times, the sacrifice wasn't them taking an animal that was just, to throw around the one with the broken leg. The sacrifice was literally the one that was your absolute best because it hurt you to turn that loose. Okay? And so, yes, Smart Cookie, you got it. Now you're on to something. How it's uncomfortable for me to work out consistently. Exactly. It is a sacrifice. It is an uncomfortable release. So those are the things that are considered sacrifices. So when you make an uncomfortable release, what happens is it's not just uncomfortable to your physical, it makes your spirit man slightly uncomfortable. And so it creates a bigger impact in the metaphysical world. Okay? And also on the flip side of that coin, those things that we do that are backed up by a lot of emotion, by a whole lot of emotion, those things also make a huge impact on the ripples in the metaphysical world and off in that water. So the things that you do that are going to make a huge impact, be careful what they are. Be mindful of everything you do, family. Be deliberate with everything that you do. If you want to help people, be deliberate. Be deliberate in that you don't go bragging about it. Be deliberate in that you do it from your heart. Be deliberate in that you're doing it out of love. Love is a powerful thing, and love is the oldest magic there is. There's nothing older than love. That's just real. We're going to talk about that another day. I don't want to get off on too many sidebars, right? So when you do these things, be deliberate, or be aware of what you're doing, and be aware of the fact of the impact that you're making. And you may not understand how large of an impact, like some things are fueled by your emotion and your intention and what you really have in your heart when you do it. And so it's almost like when you're a kid and you jump off into that 3 feet of water because you think, you're not ready for the 6 feet, and you're not thinking that you're going to hit the water that hard. Some things in life we do, you don't know how big of an impact it's going to make. Like you can drop something on the floor and you be like, I didn't know that was going to break, or I didn't know it was going to hit that hard. So be mindful and be careful and be deliberate and intentional with the things you do, because if you do not, you may not know how big of an impact it's going to make. And when it washes back towards you, you might not like the outcome. So I use the analogy of the tsunami because when that water washes away from the beach and it looks really quiet and creepy and you can't see no water nowhere, understand the water didn't just leave the planet. The water went back to gather momentum to travel back toward where it came from. So it's going to come back where it came from. But when it comes back, it has gathered so much momentum. Yes, all right, you getting where I'm coming from. It gathers so much momentum that when it reaches its original destination, because water is fluid, also the spirit world is fluid, it doesn't just hit where it started. It washes up past that area and begins to hit everything around it and lay things to waste and affect everything in its path. So that is why I'm telling you, be deliberate in your actions. Be aware of the impact that you're making, even if you don't know how big of a splash it's gonna make. Be aware that it's gonna make a splash, and make sure that you're ready for the washback. Because when you push water out, I can bet you money I ain't made yet, it's gonna wash back towards you. Okay? So when we start talking about the law of reaping, or what people like to call karma, and the reason I'm telling y'all don't get popped is, do not allow somebody to provoke you and make you make a negative impact that can end up washing back and hitting your life. Some people are just negative and miserable and horrible, and they go out of their way to just make everybody miserable around them. And if you're not careful, you'll react to it, right? So now the negativity that they put out, I want you to really see this thing like almost in a pool or a bathtub scenario. So they're making an impact. If you stay out of the way, that impact that they made, it will wash back and knock the hell out of them better than you ever could. Sometimes, y'all, you got to keep your hands out of the water. Keep your hands out of the water. If you know that person has done you wrong, I don't care if they're lying on you. I don't care if they said you had 3 arms. I don't care if they said that you walked on top of the water, shook hands with Satan, and y'all did a TikTok dance. I don't care what they say. I don't care how ridiculous it is. Sometimes do not put your hands in that water. Allow them to reap the reverberation of the impact that they made. You're interfering with nature, not just nature. You're interrupting and interfering with spiritual law. Move out the way and let these people get what's coming to them. Stop trying to interfere. You're not bigger than the universe. You ain't bigger than God himself. Get out of the way. It's just the truth. I want y'all to understand. That's high vibe. Now you getting what I'm saying. You don't have to respond to everything. Everything does not warrant a response. When there's a ripple and it washes out, and then it's time for it to wash back, and you come drop your tail in there, making your own ripples. Now they're not gonna get everything that was coming to them. You're gonna get some of theirs and yours too. When all you had to do was get out the way. Say it, Wonder Woman, Marshall. Move. Get out the way. Get out the way. Y'all listen. Stop responding to everything. Control yourselves. You don't have to do it. Don't think that I ain't never been provoked. I get provoked all the time. I get triggered all the time. And then I have to like literally sit there and check myself and be like, Nitra, no, you don't. No, you don't. And like I said, some of these people, they're not even trying to do it. It's just their nature to do these kind of things. Now, I'm gonna say this: there are some people who do know exactly what they're doing. They will provoke you to make you do something that's going to have an adverse, a negative effect on your life. Do not fall into the trap, y'all. These are the things I want you to think about. I want you to give it some thought. You know what I'm saying? I almost forgot. I be forgetting lately. Y'all forgive me. Charge it to my head. And it's mainly because I'm trying to do too much, and I know I am. And I keep telling y'all, if y'all notice that sis or auntie is slipping, let me know. Because I am not uncheckable, nor will I ever be. But there are some people who intentionally do these things because of the fact that they want you to harm yourself. And you might ask me like, Litra, okay, I hear that. You dig what I'm saying, but you might want to know, like, what do you mean they want you to harm yourself? Okay, I'm glad you asked. What I mean by that, when I say somebody wants you to harm yourself, I want you all to really consider that, yep, you got triggered at work. A lot of people get triggered at work. And I listen, that's why I say y'all can come here, talk about it, and get it out. But do not react. Like, just try to control yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that part. Just that part, what you just said. So the reality is, when these people are doing that and they're trying to run you into traps and tree you, so to speak, and make you hurt yourself or put yourself in a position where they can harm you, it's because some people, because they do know what they're doing, they do understand spiritual law. You know, everybody who understands spiritual law ain't good people. There's a lot of real evil people that know how to play in their water. Y'all gonna hear me say terms like playing in the water all the time. There's people who know how to play in that water. They know exactly what they're doing. And some of them realize that they cannot harm you. There are some people around you, y'all, that pretend to be friends. They smile at you, and they have been trying to hurt you for years. Some of these people, and some of y'all know about it too. Some of y'all have seen it and you ignore the red flags. Some of you find out after y'all finally break friend with these people. Years later, you go finding out that, dang, she was the one trying to do that. She was the one started that rumor. She was the one did X, Y, and Z. It's the truth. So be aware, there's some people that smiling at you and they're trying to hurt you. They're trying to either take from you or hurt you all around you. And they calling themselves friend and homegirl. And that's my dog. And whatever other title you got for it. Some of these people don't mean you no good, but they're in your friend circle. Some of them is your first cousin and your sister and them. Okay? And so they will sit there and they've tried to hurt you for you and they ain't been able to hurt you. Everything they try to do, somehow it don't work out. You keep coming out smelling like a rose. Even when you don't see the plot, there is somebody praying for you and you're protected and it ain't working. And when they see that everything they trying to do to you ain't working, that's when they turn around and start trying to make you hurt yourself. Be careful of the dog that carries the bone. Be careful of the one that come and tell you everything somebody say about you. Be careful of the one that's giving you bad advice. Be careful of the person that don't sit up and tell you the truth and check you. That's why I'm always telling y'all I'm not uncheckable. Check me. If y'all feel like, hey, lady, you sound tired. Did you eat today? Did you drink some water? Hey, auntie, don't you respond to them people? Check me. Be careful of the people that don't check you. Be careful of the people that's pushing you up. Like, yeah, go cuss them out. You better get them. Go get them straight. Don't you let them talk to you. Be careful of them people. Sometimes they talking in ignorance, and some of them people want you to go hurt yourself because they've been trying to hurt you for years and they can't get it done. They've been sitting right up close to you, right up under your rib cage, and they can't hurt you. So they will devise any and every means, set up situations just to make you hurt yourself. I'm encouraging all of you, please do not take the bait. Do not get off in that water. I don't care what someone does to you. Listen, if it's a plot and they have struck that water to try to make you react, even though it's a plot, the law still applies. If someone goes and set up a situation and they're in your friend circle and they go and carry some stuff and get folks mad, and then now that people are making these waves and making all this impact against you to try to make you respond, and your good friend or your good cousin is sitting there in your ear and they telling you, hey, you better say something. You better go back and straighten that. You better say, they trying to get you in the water where you can get hit because they haven't been able to hit you. They ain't been able to hit you. So they're trying to get you out there and get you slugging it out so you can hurt yourself and so you can make impact in that water so some of your own karma will come back and knock the pee out of you. That's why I tied up this, y'all. Don't get popped. Do not get popped. Pay attention to what's going on around you. And Lala is saying some real stuff too. Your pain is entertainment for some people. Some people want you to hurt so bad. There's some people, hey, Cotty, there's some people that want you to hurt so bad, and they have seen you go through situations and they don't like the way you go through the situation. They don't like the fact that no matter what happens, you still smiling. They don't like that no matter what you go through, you still positive and you still loving on people. They don't like the fact that no matter how many times they put arrows and knives in your back, that you haven't allowed it to change the way you move in this world. That you still reaching out, you still loving people, you still embracing people. Some people, real live, y'all, will hate the way other people love you. And that's just real. It's sad, but it's real. It's sad, but it's real. So you have to be careful, be mindful. When things come at you, you do not have to respond to everything. One of y'all said that earlier, and I want y'all to really check that. You ain't got to respond to everything. Everything don't deserve an answer, especially and understand if it's something that's a misunderstanding or something that they didn't necessarily mean to do, it may not make that big of an impact. There may be a little something that happened to them and it'll get their attention like, oh, I wasn't right for that. But when someone is intentionally doing anything, it creates a bigger ripple in that environment. That's why I keep telling y'all to be intentional. Use your words, pick your words, and be intentional. Because everything that's done with intent, it makes a bigger ripple. You're actually aiming in that you're aiming at the surface of the water. You meant to do what you were doing. Let me see what y'all talking about down here. M.R. Spiller says, now when people tell me what others have said, my response is okay, because they're trying to get me. Right. Shaquila says, they hate the way you seemingly breeze through and come out of things. If they only knew. I know that's right. But you know, people that don't love you, they don't consider how many prayers you done prayed. They don't consider how many nights you cried. They don't consider how many days you fasted. They don't consider how many times you had to go get help and backup and support. Okay. So it's natural. It's natural for some people because they're not, then they don't have good intentions towards you. Everybody don't have good intentions towards you. And we just have to be honest about it and accept the fact that this is a part of the human condition. And that's not to make you go cutting people off. Like people love to say, I'm cutting everybody off. I'm cutting my circle so small, I don't deal with nobody. That ain't no good either. Yep, we done seen it. We done seen it. But it's okay. It's a part of the human condition. So like I'm not saying giving y'all this information to make you cut yourself off from people, because I'm not a fan of that. And I feel like sometimes people do bad things to you to make you cut yourself off from people. Think about that, y'all. They want you to start cutting people off and not trusting people because they hate the way people support you. There are some people that literally, y'all, will sit back and be pissed off, hotter than fish grease, because they see how people love you. They see how you love people, and they see how you return that love, and it makes them mad. They want you not to trust anybody. They want you corded off in a little corner, feeling like you can't trust nobody and you ain't got no backup. Let me tell you, that ain't what you want to do. That ain't what you want to do. There is absolutely a covering from manipulation, and we're gonna get into that. Listen, I love Jaja. Jaja be thinking like me. That's my girl right there. One of these days you're gonna hop up here and talk with me, and we're gonna really get into some stuff, because I feel like you know a whole lot more than you be saying down there in that chat. But I ain't gonna get into it unless you get into it. But they want you to cut yourself off from people. And listen, let me tell you something, family, that's a mistake. Don't go cutting yourself off from folks. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated, because that's a manipulation. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated into a spot where you now have no support, where you now have no backup. There's a lady that oh, Marcella, you came through to holler at us. Yes, y'all tell Marcella hi. She over here visiting with us at the Royal Family. Um, yeah, exactly. That too. Well, then again, unless it's somebody that's supposed to. Jackie 1920, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, hi, Shanitra. I've been looking for you and now I found you. First time listening live. Well, you are so welcome. Y'all give Jackie also a Royal Family welcome. But that is a trap. Do not put yourself in a spot where you don't have backup or support. I went through something very, very recently. Some of you are aware, some not. But when I was going through that, it was a sister that I hadn't even known that long that literally came in and was my backup. She was my backup. She was my support. Like literally 2 a.m. praying with me on the phone. So don't get to a point where you allow bad people to force you to change the way you move and navigate in this world. Don't let them force you into a spot where you feel like you can't trust nobody, you can't talk to nobody. Listen, that's a lie. People want you in that position because they keep putting out negative ripples and only negative people will come to them. You're putting out positive, you're making positive ripples. So I can promise you, oh, it's your birthday on Wednesday, Missy. All right. Well, happy early birthday. Veronica Barnes, you late, but you're here. You made it. You made it. So this is the thing. Don't let it happen. Some of those people that sit there and tell you, "Oh, I don't let nobody near me. I ain't friendly. I don't want nobody. I don't need no friends." All that old negative talk. These are people who have literally stirred and troubled the water with ripples of negative impact. They've done negative things, so they keep getting negative things coming back to them. And so then they will try to influence you by the way they speak. Hey, Nika, to not have people around you. Marcella, love it. Thank you for the super chat. She said, love you so much. I'm here always, even on the replays. Hit the like button, everyone. Hello. All right. Y'all heard her. Hit that like button now. Hey, Wicked. So what's happening to them doesn't even apply to you. But they will try to take their negative experiences and influence you with that when in reality it is not going to be your story just because it was their story. People have a habit of not telling you the beginning of a thing. Okay? Umi Omai, you made it in. Welcome. We love you so much, and I'm glad you're here. Okay? This is the thing. When it comes down to it, people are notorious for not telling you the beginning of a thing. They like to tell you how it ended, but they don't like to tell you where it started. Hey, Evangelist. She says, hey, sis, I had someone who was supposed to be helping me get my memory back say, you didn't take no mess, you didn't play. My son said, you aren't helping her at all to remember who she really was. You aren't helping her at all to remember who she really was. Right. So, yeah, you got to be careful of that. But what I want to get into, because this is an important point that I want to make and I don't want to miss it. They will tell you the summation of a story. They will tell you the ending of a thing. They will tell you, and then he burnt my house down. They will tell you, and then she slapped the piss out of me. They will tell you, and then they took my money, and then they beat my behind, and then I was homeless. But they don't like to tell you the beginning of a thing. And when I say that, what I'm talking about is, hey, chats with C. What I'm talking about is they don't tell you their input into their negative outcome. Understand, y'all put the mirrors back in the chat. This is again a me moment. When we start talking about accountability, it's a mirror moment. It's a me moment. So they don't talk about the beginning of a thing. They don't talk about their input into the negative outcome. I can guarantee you there's nothing that is happening to you that you didn't have some sort of input into it. So we got to be accountable. Always look in the mirror. What part did I play? That should be your first question. Before you say, why me? Before you say, why did they do me like this? Before you say, why did this have to happen? Before you start talking about bad stuff always happening to me, it's always something happening to me. I want you to look and ask yourself this question first. What input did I have? What part did I play in what is happening to me? Understand and always look at that metaphysical like water, like a pond. What ripples did you send out? How did this happen to you? Was it the red flag that you didn't ignore? Was it the fact that you did something or did not do something when you were supposed to? Yes, essence, a half a story is a whole damn lie. Start with accountability for your part. Not everything is in your control. How can I avoid this from happening again? Is the best start. Now y'all get where I'm coming from. Amani Taylor, I know you got something for me. Also, some people think they're more important than you, so their perspective is right just because. That's true too. But yeah, the accountability check. Y'all see where I'm saying? Hold yourselves accountable. This is what it is. Okay? Find out what you did. What ripples did I send out? Did I avoid the red flag? Did I not leave when I was supposed to? That's also something that sends the negative ripples out. Did I participate or was I silently complicit when something bad was happening? Did I sit up and giggle and sniggle when I should have openly said that what y'all doing is wrong? Understand that there's always an impact that we could have made or did make by our inaction or by our actions. Umio Mai says, agree. We always have some kind of responsibility. There are situations where I felt, okay, this is my karma. Lesson learned. If no wrong's on my side, it's a challenge from God. Either way, gotta grow. But this is the thing. I can guarantee you, because some things are just law. There is no east without west, ain't no up without down, ain't no wet without dry. I can promise you that. There's always something that you did or did not do that directly or indirectly affected this negative outcome that you're experiencing. Either out of not even either out of, you know, complicity, you wanted to do it, and sometimes it's out of ignorance. Understand that being ignorant of what you're doing doesn't absolve you from the result of it. Just like them people tell you, ignorance of the law is no defense. Okay? Listen, Jaja, I know you know something you ain't telling. You be on my wavelength too much. Jaja says sometimes even good intentions can trigger a storm. Be intentional, y'all. You trying to be God and save everybody. You in the way. You ain't everybody's savior. You better say it. You had better say it. So we got somebody that needs to go. All right, there we go. So, what we're talking about here is the accountability of it all. What ripples did you send off in that water? Now, mind you, when you're not being intentional, the ripples are not as heavy. But when you are being intentional, the ripples are absolutely sometimes monumental. Sometimes they are life changers. Sometimes they are world changers and story changers. So you got to be careful. And when someone is, and like I said, like somebody mentioned their job. If you're on your job and something starts to happen that you don't like, and you see these people, doing little stuff, they gossiping about you in the office, they run into the boss telling stuff on you, y'all all supposed to be doing the same job, but you working and they're not doing their part, and then they throwing you under the bus. Those are plots. Those are things that are done intentionally. Those are things that make huge ripples in that water. I know we got to work and, protect your job at all costs. Of course, I won't say at all costs, but within reason. But understand that those ripples that person is making, that water is going to wash back toward them. Now, something else I want to talk about before I get into the protection against manipulations is that understand that the bigger the ripple, it may take longer for it to come back. Don't get impatient and go put yourself in the way. And what I mean by that is, just like that tsunami, that's a huge form of a ripple caused by an earthquake underneath an ocean or a body of water, not to get too nerdy, but that's what it is, right? So because it's a huge ripple, that water doesn't wash out and wash back immediately. It takes time because it's traveling far out, because the ripple was so large, and it travels far out and it comes back with that much more momentum and or force. So when it's something small, you might see it wash back a lot quicker. You might see the person get fired right away. You may see your baby daddy break his toe coming down the stairs. It may come back a lot quicker. But when someone has done something with intent, when they have plotted, when they have laid traps, when they dug them ditches, like the old people used to say, when you dig one ditch, dig two, right? Here's the deal. When they've done something huge against you, when they have really plotted after your life, when they've plotted after your peace, when sometimes, y'all, they plotted after your children, okay? Understand those big actions cause huge ripples. And also I want y'all to be aware that sometimes the people that are mean enough and heartless and hateful enough to do these kind of things, you're not their only target. Please don't sit around and become so self-centered, y'all, that we get to thinking that these bad folks are only targeting us. Some of these people have made ripples all around pond in different directions, trying to hurt other folks. So don't get impatient in saying, well, she's doing this and that, or he's doing this and that, and they get away with it. They always get away. They fooling everybody. Baby, you can fool everybody, but I promise you can't fool God. I promise you can't. I don't care how early you get up, you can't. It's just not possible. So don't get impatient while you're waiting for that water to wash back to them, because I guarantee you it will. I can guarantee you it will. It's the law. It's just like gravity. If I throw a ball up, I promise you it's coming back. I don't care how much force I throw it up with. it is always going to come back. So don't get in the way of it. And don't be surprised that it's taking longer. Just, remind yourself that the longer it's taking for you to see the law, fulfill itself, and for that ripple or that water to wash back toward them, understand that this person may have a whole lot of momentum coming back. If anything, you should feel sorry for them. If you see somebody going around hurting folks, lying on folks, plotting on folks, mistreating people, and nothing has really happened yet, if you got a heart at all, you should be praying for them, because what's coming for them is building up momentum. It's far out at sea. Okay, we're not talking about you drop a pebble in the ocean. We're talking about tsunami level. There's some people that's been doing dirt a long time, and every time they make an impact, it's pushing that water further and further out. It's going to gather momentum and come back. When you see something take that long to come back, I hope you have a heart that feels sorry for them, and just say, Lord have mercy, or something, whoever you pray to. Because I can guarantee you that when the law fulfills itself, and it always does, it's going to wash back. And that person who's been sitting and riding high is going to end up receiving the full payment of the law. And it just ain't no way about it. Yeah, girl, karma comes back quick when it's small. When it's small. But there's some folks that have done some terrible things. I want to tell you, can I tell y'all a story? Or is that going to take too long? Yes, Jaja, an avalanche always starts small. You better tell them. See, people got to understand and be patient with the spirit world. The spirit world is not the same as the physical. There's different laws. Can I tell a story, or y'all want me to hurry up and shut up? Because I want to tell y'all something I done seen happen as a young woman where I'm from. I ain't young no more, but I was at one time. Okay, so Wonder Woman, Marshall, and Jam say I can go ahead and talk. Y'all ain't told me to hush, so I'm gonna go and talk and tell y'all the story that I was told as a girl. All right. So there was a man where I'm from, and this man was somebody who was notorious. In the South, we say the root man. And so there was a notorious root man where I was from. And I ain't gonna say his name because somebody might hear me and then they might try to do something to me, and I don't want no smoke. And this man, they say, used to do left-handed work. And some of y'all know what I mean when I say left-handed work. He didn't mind hurting people if you could pay the fee. Okay? And so this man, they say, had done all kind of left-handed work, including and up to killing folks. I mean, terrible things the man had done. Long as you could pay the fee, the man would do some terrible things to you. And so it came a time when the man got old, because this went on for years and nothing happened to him for years. He got away with it for years. He got paid for years. People were afraid of him for years. And when the man got old, this is right there where I'm from in Ocala. When the man got old and he was in the hospital, y'all, the water started to wash back. The story that I was told by the old folks and by at least two of his relatives was that this man kept coding. And for those of you who work in the medical field, y'all know what I mean when I say coding. Like, he kept flatlining, and he laid there and he suffered. And every time he flatlined, he'd come back and he would suffer some more. And they had called the code on this man so many times that the nurses wasn't even running no more. When the code got called, they was walking briskly. They wasn't even running. And I don't know how many times that man coded or code blue or flatline and came back, and he continued to suffer. And he laid there and he suffered for a very, very, very long time. And so I remember asking one of the aunties in town, she's gone on, Lord rest her soul, and she explained to me as a young girl that what they believe was happening to this man was for every life he took, he had to pass through that veil. And I remember that sent a shiver down my spine. I said, have mercy. It made me understand, you guys, that it don't matter how bad a person is. It doesn't matter how much dirt they do. It doesn't matter how many people they do it to. The more that they put those ripples out, the more that they mount up that water, the more that they send that bad energy out, that negative, destructive, diabolical energy out, that water is traveling far out to sea. This ain't no small matter. This ain't a small matter. And once they've sent it all out, and when sometimes it's when they finally finish that water will begin to wash back, and then they start to feel the impact of the law fulfilling itself. Always know the law don't change for nobody. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you put it out, expect to see it back. And when you see somebody that can go for 10, 20, 30 years doing dirt and you don't see that water wash back, I want you, as my royal family, to have enough heart that you say a prayer for them, because that person is in trouble. When that mess come back, it's going to be devastating and ugly. It's going to be something that is a world changer, a life changer. So just have mercy on them and ask God to have mercy on them, okay? That's something for you to really, really consider. Don't get impatient in you wanting to see your justice. And I understand we're human. When people do things to us, we want something to happen to them Negroes. We want to see something go down because you did something to me. And I held my peace and I did what I was supposed to do. And I did the work and I worked on my triggers. And you taking your accountability. And so sometimes you want to see something happen to these folks. I get it. But don't get so impatient that you go put yourself in the way and you end up getting some of the whipping that was only meant for them. I'm going to say that again. Don't put yourself in the way and end up getting some of the whipping that was only meant for them. You know, back when mama was swinging that strap and she'd mess around, if you got in the way, you could get it too. Don't be that person. Learn how to stay out of the way. No matter what they do, do not be provoked. Don't put yourself in that water. That ain't where you want to be. Lala says God knows and sees all, and we have to be careful. Yes, you do. You better be careful. You had better be careful. So Jaja asked the question, and it was right in line with how we're going to round this thing up, because I want us to always look at things from a point of power. You do have power in your life, okay? You can protect yourself from manipulations. You can. First thing I'm going to tell you to do always, y'all know me, I'm going to tell you to pray first, okay? And Monty Taylor, thank you so much for the super chat, dear. Thank you so much. What did she say? She says, I truly resonate with this story. It reminds me of my own dad. Oh, ooh, wow. All right, that's heavy, sis. So that first, the other thing you can do is pay attention to the signs. You know, we're going to have signs and warnings part 2. We did signs and warnings part 1, and that covered the things that come up in your dreams or whatever. And some of y'all had questions after the fact in email, phone, inbox, or what have you. However, we're going to do signs and warnings part 2, because that's the next thing you can do to protect yourself from manipulations. Because some manipulations are natural and some manipulations against you are very much metaphysical. So we can definitely do that, okay? The other thing on top of paying attention to signs is respecting those red flags. That's the other way you protect yourself against manipulations. Hey, Princess, you made it in here. Okay, Amani say that's heavy, but that's for another. Well, I tell you what, girl, whenever you're ready to tell it, you can come here and your family will be here with you, and we will absolutely never judge, we don't attack, and we protect our own. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. I am Tavonda. You made it. Hey, darling, good to see you. So, you know, those are the things. So let's go down the list. Pray if you know how. Pay attention to the signs around you. Pay attention to the signs and warnings and respect those red flags. That's the other one. The next thing you can do to protect yourself from manipulations is make sure that if you're around people who have these behaviors and you know, because we grown at this point, ain't none of us kids. You know that this person is putting negative ripples out in that water. You know they're doing things to hurt other people. I advise you to move out of the way. Because if they're doing that, eventually they're going to either do something to you, or something that they have done is going to wash back and hit you too. Jackie 1920, thank you so much and welcome to the royal family. Y'all, please welcome her to the family. We welcomed her earlier, but make sure y'all welcome her again to the family. Okay? So that's all I got for it today. And that's what I want y'all to keep in mind. I want you to, I try to make the titles kind of funny and comedic because I want it to be something that sticks in your head. And I want y'all to carry it around with you during the day. Don't get popped. Don't get popped. And that's what I want you to tell yourselves. I don't care what nobody does to you, baby. Don't get popped. Control yourself because there's something about science. These things are science. It's a, metaphysics is a type of science. This is reality. So these are things that we need to pay attention to and we need to respect it. Don't get yourself in trouble. M.R. Spiller, thank you so much for the Cash App. You are such a darling. I appreciate you. You always support this. You always support the live. I really appreciate it. So remind yourself during the day, y'all, don't get popped. Don't get popped. When they provoking you, just tell yourself, I ain't trying to get popped. Get on out the way. Allow them to receive their own water. You don't need that. If we want water, we'll stop by Walmart or Kroger. We'll get us a case of water. We don't want none of that water. Let them take all that on by themselves. If you want anything coming back to you, let it be the good information, the good energy that you put out. If you look around yourself and you see a bunch of negative people, a bunch of bad people, make sure that you not put nothing out to get that to come back to you. Make sure that's not the reverb that you sending out. When you look up, like I look up here and I see so many loving people. We have a good community, a good family here. And I hope y'all not just here to support me. I hope y'all here supporting each other. That should let you know that you're doing something right. You're putting the right energy out. So you finding yourself in the right spaces with people who care about you, support you, gonna make you laugh. They can cut up and clown with you. They can pray with you. And then we can sit up and feed each other's minds. Because that's really what it's about, right? So hopefully, y'all let me know if y'all got something out of today's crown chat. Hopefully, hopefully it was something that'll help, something that will, get you thinking, activate your brain. You say this live triggered you. Oh, I hope it was a good trigger. I pray it was a good trigger. Well, I'm happy you're here too. Okay, Jaja say you want fresh spring water, purified, not that water at that whole bath. No, we don't want none of that water. Oh my God, girl. Are you talking about that water Ashton Kutcher and them be washing off with in the sink? Because we don't want none of that. None of that. And on to the last part. Listen, I'm gonna be reminding y'all all week that movie night is Friday for Royal Family members. Channel members, movie night is Friday. So be ready. I'm gonna do the time. I don't know. Y'all let me know whether, what time is a better time to set it. We may try to set it around 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern time. Or if 9 o'clock is better Eastern time, y'all let me know. And y'all, I said Eastern time because that's a good way to kind of measure things. That way we can a good trigger. Okay. And DC say you needed it. Yeah, yeah. Not the water, not the water from unwashed and Kutcher's uses in the sink. No, we don't want that one. But let me know. Eastern time is usually a good measuring stick because it's just on the edge. And if it's 9 there, then it's 8 central, then it's 7 Pacific. Wait, no, 7 Mountain, and then 6 Pacific, something like that. If I got it wrong, y'all will get it right for me. But I was thinking like around 8, but now I'm thinking like 8:30 or 9 o'clock is a good time for movie night on Friday. And for Royal Family members, we will be doing, no, it don't have to be a certain level, Mm-mm. Anytime we doing stuff like that, movie night, family meetings, always, absolutely everybody is invited. And people like you anyway, I know you. So if worst come to worst, I'll make sure I get you a link. But what we're gonna do for family members, I'm just gonna let you know ahead of time. We're gonna do it like a field trip, like we did in school. So Friday, y'all be checking your community tab because I'm gonna post on a community tab and then I'm going to go live maybe once or twice before we head over to the Zoom so we can watch our movie, right? Because y'all know we can't watch nothing on YouTube because they will copyright strike and take our little community down. And we have fun over here. So we don't want to lose our meeting place due to something that we can avoid. So we're gonna do movie night, but we're gonna be over on Zoom. We're gonna have our musical interlude before the movie starts, especially since last night y'all let me know that y'all like the same stuff I like. So we're gonna have some fun up in there for a little bit. And I figure that'll give people time to get there, the ones that's gonna be a little late. Because some people don't get the notifications. YouTube don't act right. So because of that, we want to make sure that everybody who is a channel member who wants to come to movie night can come. And we're gonna have a good time. We got a lot of stuff planned out. So y'all just be ready. And then we're working on, hopefully by next summer, we'll be able to do a family reunion for channel members. So that is going to be fun. I got some ladies that's willing to work on that committee. We're going to try to see if we can meet up the central location here in the U.S. Maybe get us a block of rooms at the hotel and have an itinerary set up like a real family reunion, all the way down to the fish fry. And hopefully we have us a couple of drunk aunties that can do the drunk auntie shuffle like Mary J. Blige up in there to make sure y'all know that this is a real family and we legit. Okay. So in the meanwhile, I will not be back on today. I don't think, unless something real crazy happens. I seriously doubt it. I will be back on tomorrow in the morning for Good Morning Royals. I love y'all so much. If you have not hit that like button, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to become a channel member, the link is in the description box below. And as always, if you are not able to do so, please get in touch with me so that we'll be able to help you get that done if you're not able to. Please do not allow cost to be a barrier for you. Don't let cost prohibit you. We even have some sisters that want to donate and help you get your channel membership. We are a family over here. We support each other. We have each other's backs. We pick up each other's slack. That's what we do, and we're not going to change regardless of what nobody else on this platform is doing. That's what we doing up over here. Okay? So in the meanwhile, I'm going to let y'all go. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Be productive. Be supportive of each other. Be encouraged, and make sure you encourage somebody else. Listen, have a good one, and I'll talk to y'all again bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye, y'all.